Page 56. There's no real title here. This is a lesson on the sustain pedal. So in addition to using both hands, when the hands are already going nuts, now we get to put a foot in on it and do a foot too at the same time. I'm a picky pedaler, and I hope you'll be one too. The pedal, in my opinion, by most amateur pianists and a lot of piano teachers, is grossly misused. They just pedal everything. So I'm probably going to be changing things on the pedal, and I'll be explaining why and all that too. Let's just talk about it. The pedal we're talking about is the pedal on the right. If you have more than one pedal on your piano, it's the one on the right. You will work it with your right foot. You will put the heel on the floor, and you'll just change pretend this is a foot, okay? You just read up here. You have the foot on the floor, and you're going to work it with the foot. You're just going to do that. Now, there's a bit of a problem here. If you have an electronic keyboard, those pedals, sometimes they're really high and you can't get your foot up comfortably. You almost have to raise the whole foot up and down. I've had that problem. If that's the case, see if you can't find a book or something to put under your heel to raise the heel of your foot up so the overall motion isn't that much that you have to do, because you really need the heel of the foot on something stable, because that's your anchor point. You don't want the whole foot going up and down, the whole leg going up and down. Now this pedal has different names, so I don't care what name you give it. You give it any name you want. I don't care. I could call it trouble a lot. But we call it the damper pedal or the sustain pedal. And some people would call it a loud pedal. I'm not so sure that's a good idea, because while it adds overtones, gives the sound more fullness, it doesn't necessarily make it louder. Yeah. So I don't know about loud pedal. Anytime we're learning a piece of music, the pedal is always last. Well, it's sort of combined with the interpretation. The two kind of go together. Always learn a piece of music without pedal first, to make sure you have the hands doing and the fingers doing what they're supposed to do, because the pedal makes it too easy to cheat. And we want to get out of that. That's a really nasty habit, to get it to cheat. I used to do that until I learned to play properly. Now when I learn a piece of music, I always play it without pedal first. And then once I have it, I'm ready to think about interpreting it, I'll add the pedal. There are different indications in the music for when and how to use the pedal. Mostly when, not how. The one in this book is the most common. It's probably the most accurate, although none of them are accurate. That's where a teacher comes in. Let me explain. On page 56, the first little example of music, underneath the bottom staff, that little line, there's a line goes down, there's a line going across, and a line coming up. That's where the pedal is. It's always below the grand staff. It's always underneath. In theory, you push the pedal down when the line goes down, you hold it down for as long as the line goes across, and you let the pedal up when the line comes up. In reality, the lines going up and down are not where they're supposed to be. It's another thing that comes handy if you have a teacher, so they can teach you when to push the pedal down or lift it up. However, I'll try and do that. Assuming you don't have a teacher, I'll pretend to be that. Look at the first example here on A, where the notes are here. It's just a broken G chord. I don't go through the whole system of learning a piece of music on these. These are just little examples we're doing here. So, but I do make sure I can play the notes first without the pedal. I want that. Okay. When I'm ready to add the pedal, I'm going to push the note down first and then add the pedal. I want to start the sound before I release the overtones, because if I play the first note without pedal, it sounds like this. If I play it with pedal, it sounds like this. They sound different. And that difference in sound is really important. So I want to start the sound first before I release the other stuff, so it kind of grows. So I push it down first and then the pedal. Now lift everything together at the end. Pedal and hand come up together. So that's basically how it's done. The pedal lags behind what the hand is doing. It's called lag pedal. or synchronized pedal. Could be called legato pedal because it always ensures there's sound. Look at the second example on page 56. We have the block chords, these and this, because you get a treble clef in the bottom step. It's the same chord, just different octaves. Well, on the pedal, I'm going to push the first chord down first and then the pedal. I'm going to lift them at the same time. Yeah, and that's how we're using the pedal. Now, there's specific reasons why pedal is being used. Make sure you understand why the pedal is being used if you're going to use it. If you don't understand it, please don't use it. Just leave it out. You probably don't need it. We want the notes to continue to sound even though we're not there and we can't push them down. We can't hold them down, I should say. In the first example here, I want all those notes to continue to sound all the way through. Well, the pedal will do that for me. I got them all. The pedal does that for me. So if I want that effect, I got to use pedal. Another thing would be use pedal to help me connect stuff I can't connect with the hands. Like that second example on the chords. I can't connect them, I got to move. The pedal connects them. They're connected. That's another reason to use pedal. There's other reasons too. Let's just take it as a little bit at a time. Now at the top of page 57, they talk a little bit about changing the pedal. It's where you let the pedal up and put it right back down. Now it's not a quick jerky motion or nothing. You got plenty of time to go up and down. It's a comfortable motion. It's just up and down. I exaggerated in the video so you can see it better because really it's a small motion. Your foot stays on the pedal. You're just going up and down. But I tend to exaggerate it so you can see it better. So at page 57, that first example, what we're going to do is we're going to pedal this as a lag pedal or synchronized pedal, legato pedal, different names. The point is we want to make sure there's always sound. Now we can connect all these half notes, and this is A on page 57, it's letter A. We can connect all these half notes with the hand. So we're going to play all the notes with the same finger because we can't connect them that way. Okay, so now we want to connect them, but we want to use the same finger. We use the pedal, and the pedal lags behind the fingers. So I push the note down and then the pedal. I push the next note down, and right after I push it down, I change the pedal. Just let it on. That's legato pedal. It ensures there's always sound when you overlap. The overlap has to be a short one because the ear, you don't want it to last too long. But as long as it's short, the ear doesn't seem to mind. We don't pick it up. So in the letter B, where we have these, we can't connect these with the hands. I can connect the left hand, but not the right. Here, and then here. Make sure I got the notes okay. I can hear everything, all the fingers are working all right. And then I do this legato pedal technique. Push the notes down first, then the pedal. Change the pedal after I play the next notes. It connects them all. So, you get used to it after a while. You have to make it an effort to make sure the pedal goes down, changes after you play the notes. The tendency is you want to do it with it. And that's dangerous because you can lift it up too soon, you lose the sound. So make sure it overlaps. It lags behind just a hair. It takes a little practice to get used to that. But again, you can practice this with the scales. While you're practicing a C scale, pedal it. Practice here. That. Don't practice that with the pedal all the time, but the idea is you can practice pedal with the scales too. Let's take a look at the bottom of page 57, this last example. They're showing you the pedal. You're not pedaling everything. Make sure you can play the notes first. Make sure you got everything working first, and then when you go to add the pedal, you're adding the pedal on the just a few measures. You hear? And they might change here, and then lift it up. So that's their indications. What I need you to learn to do is listen very carefully to the effect it's having, and if it doesn't sound quite right, it's probably because the pedal isn't doing what it needs to do. A lot of times in the method books, they will keep the pedaling indications simple for you because you got enough to think about already. The problem with that is you get used to hearing that junk, because simple pedaling will give you junk. The sound isn't right. I want you to be very critical of the sound all the way through. Don't get used to hearing junk. So be very critical. Now here, they give you staccatos. And the pedal covers that up. So what's the point? Well, I want to connect the left hand. And a lot of times in pedaling, it's a give and take. Which do you want? Do you want this? If you do, you got to give up this. So here, we're giving up the staccato sound because we want to pedal it, but I'm still going to do the technique. I'm going to feel staccatos whether I hear them or not. I'm going to do it, bum bum, whether I hear it or not, I'm feeling it. We're going to talk a lot about pedal as we go through the lessons in the other books and so forth. Just don't use pedal unless you absolutely have to, is my instruction on it. Yeah.